Right, so I'm right in the heart of Hackney in East London, and I'm here to see my friend Josie Long, who is a brilliant comedian. But the reason I want to talk to her is because she's not someone who talks about injustice, she's someone who gets stuff done. She's a doer, she's this ball of optimism and inspiration. And the real reason I'm coming to see her is not just because she's a good laugh and sometimes I need a bit of optimism myself, because I think she'll encourage you to go out and do stuff. And that's what it's all about. So prepare to be inspired. If I'm going to give you, a despondent statement.
Okay.
And you've got this sledgehammer of hope.
Sure.
Which you're going to knock it down with.
Fuck yeah.
So, most people just don't care, Josie, do they?
What do you mean they don't care? About what?
About you're passionate about all these injustices.
Yeah.
Most people though, meh.
What do they want then? If you know everything about most people, what about if I'm most
That's my
people?
despondent statement. You're supposed to knock it down.
I'm so sick of people constantly telling me that especially obviously with Jeremy Corbyn, it's like, you're a tiny minority, fuck you, fuck everything. Like, well, I don't think I'm in the minority caring about other human beings, wanting life to be fucking fun and joyful and wonderful, wanting there to be more to life, wanting the people around me to have a happier time. I'm not in a minority. That's what people are like.
So, like, the whole prevailing dogma of the last 35 years is everyone for themselves, pull yourself up by your big straps, even if you don't have any big.
If you're poor, it's your fault.
I nicked that off the Bama, by the way, that wasn't mine.
Having a Conservative government, what they have done already, just thinking about things like taking away EMA, taking away benefits so that people no longer have any sense of autonomy, taking away so much from people and demonising people, brutalising people, all of this stuff, it has made our lives harder and worse. It has made society just that bit bleaker, meaner, more miserable. What I feel like, and I feel it in London, for example, that having a Conservative mayor who has done nothing but exacerbate the housing crisis, make everything more expensive and more difficult, has made London a sadder, more stressful, more angry, worse place to live. Our choices are, we all put our heads down and watch as they fence off London as the green zone, like in Children of Men, which seems so eerily prescient. I can't bear it. Like, there's the bit where they go in and there's like a park and there's all these rich cunts with a llama, not a llama, with a zebra as a pet, and then outside everyone's desperate and like, it's frightening. The idea that competition is better always than cooperation, that profit is always better than some sort of not-for-profit thing that's run to help people. The idea that profit is always better than people. These are things that we have to fundamentally change, because those are things that make people en masse miserable, competitive, angry.
Right, so you did this tour around random places, reclaiming privatised space, make it public. But why? Why were you doing this, Josie?
One of the reasons we did it was because it's unusual and fun. So we played to people who wouldn't normally get to come and see, because normally my crowd is adorable cuties and cardigans, and I love it.
There was a cardigan.
Let people, cardigans, fringes, glasses, brooches, that sort of thing. But like, we wanted to find people who are maybe excluded normally from getting to see comedy shows and theatre shows and give them something just for the fuck of it, just to be unusual, right? In Ipswich, these people were like, oh my God, we can't believe you got away with doing this gig here, we're going to do a cinema club here.
So people started setting up their own stuff off the back of it. So you were like, spores.
Yeah, that's the dream, deadly spores or socialist sleeper cells.
Socialist sleeper cells. So as you can hear, Josie's pretty eloquent when it comes to the problems that we all face. But the thing is, people who believe passionately in social justice often get criticised for being all talk and no action. But Josie is so far from that. And what she's done is set up this charity called Arts Emergency. And that's about tackling the kind of problems she's been discussing, but also putting her principles into action.
There they are, look. The guys are in. Hey lads. Hey lads.
What is Arts Emergency?
Okay, so Arts Emergency is an organisation that me and Neil set up.
Neil.
And we exist to try and help young people who don't come from privileged backgrounds do whatever they would love to do with their lives, and to study what they would really love to study if they want to study, or just pursue what they would love to pursue. The point is that we meet these young people who maybe don't have any connections and don't come from any privilege or any money or anything like that. It's like X Factor. It's like the idea that you go and audition for X Factor and that's your only chance to be a musician, when the truth is, if you know anything about the industry, you could be a musician all around the world in all different kinds of ways. And like, that's what we're trying to do, is link people up with people who are creatives, are professionals, are graduates, so that they can see that there's a whole world out there. Young people now they already get told in advance, so young, think of the money, think of what's practical, think of a job, think about the fact that if you're going to uni, it's going to charge you this much money, so you have to earn money at the end of it, and you have to be thinking about what you can do that is practical for a job. And actually, that's not sound advice, because it puts too many people on law courses when there isn't the need for that. It takes people away from where all their skills might actually be and their talents might actually be.
It removes the joy from anything they want to do and what we wanted to do. There's no time and space for young people in education now. There's huge pressure, all the different exam systems and assessments that teachers go through. It's a real tough environment.
But it's not even just about like individual pleasure and joy. What it's also about is the fact that in the long term, society needs people that can think critically and creatively. When you look at these people who do become journalists, and you look at these people who do become politicians, and you look at these people who go into really, really well-paid jobs in business, you look at the degrees they've done, they're humanities degrees. They've taught them how to think and question and appraise, to take risks and to problem solve.
100 have arts and humanities.
Yeah, exactly. So telling younger people who come from privilege, don't do that, it's a risk, is actually not true. What it's really saying is know your place, these finer things aren't for you, and you aren't allowed to kind of have our way of living.
People, they want to take on things. They want to get involved. They want to, they see lots of injustice problems. Don't know where to start though, do they? Don't know what to do.
Okay.
Right, so
the first thing that I would say is, it doesn't have to be a fight. It's not about fighting. If you look for enemies, if you look for a fight, you'll always find it. But if you look for friends, if you look for people that are doing inspiring things, you will always find that too. So the first thing I would say is, look around you, see if there's anything going on already in your community that you might be inspired by to join, right? Because there's always people, if you just scratch the surface, there's always people doing things, community projects, volunteering projects, DIY art things, all kinds of things that you could find and be a part of. Look around where you live and think about what's maybe been taken away, but not just that, what would make it better? It's the exact opposite of Thatcherism. It's about society, it's about how big society, but it's about how important society is and about how it's everywhere. And like what it's, I say look around you, look for what's missing, look for what's going on in your community, then look for what's possible. You'd be amazed at how much you can get away with without asking permission.